Mr. Walker is a patient who has come in for his annual checkup. He has completed the health center's yearly alcohol drug screen questionnaire. Mr. Walker, your physical exam turned out great. You're doing a really good job taking care of yourself and your health. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Before you leave, I did notice that you filled out our alcohol questionnaire. Is it okay with you if I take a look at that and then we just discuss it briefly?
That's fine.
All right, thank you. I'm able to use this form to give you some feedback, but before I do, let me just verify what you're drinking and how often you're drinking. What is it that you typically drink?
Beer. I have about maybe 5 or 6 on the weekends, so about maybe 3 days a week.
Okay, so you typically drink beer when you drink about 3 days a week because you're drinking on the weekends, and you have between 5 and 6 drinks at most. All right, and just to verify, this is a standard beer here, this picture, which is 12 ounces. Is that typically what you're drinking as a standard can or bottle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so with what you drink, how often you drink, and then this score here on your audit turned out to be a 9. I can use this card to give you some feedback about where that places you.
Okay.
Is that okay? Okay, so a score of 9 puts you here in this at-risk zone in the middle. What do you think about that?
What does that risk mean?
Okay, good question, because this is new information. So we'll keep using this card, and I'll show you here that for a healthy male with no other health problems, so that would be you, no more than 4 drinks a day and no more than 14 is what's recommended to make sure that you keep your risk lowered for any problems related to your health, like accidents or falls, or even any kind of social problems, legal problems, that sort of thing related to your drinking.
Okay.
So that's sort of what goes into making up that score, and then also these limits of 4 and 14. So what are your thoughts about that?
I had no idea it was such a big problem. I generally go out with my friends and family and we just drink and have a good time. I didn't know that it was a problem.
Okay, so for you it doesn't feel like a problem. And so this is all just new information based on this score and this being at risk. And so you haven't had too much reason for concern, but I did notice on your audit here, this last question you answered yes to, which was just that somebody has expressed some sort of concern for you and your drinking. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, the morning after drinking, sometimes I'll have trouble maybe getting up and getting started, so I may be a little late for work or class.
Okay.
So that can be a problem.
Okay, so that's caused some problems, you just being late, and somebody's noticed and expressed some concern for you about that, and you don't like that.
No.
Having other people notice that you're not perhaps fulfilling your responsibilities
Right.
the way that you intended to. And so that has been one problem. While some of this information is new and you're wondering, what to make of it, on the other hand, you have noticed that it's caused some concern, at least
Yes.
with others, and it's something that it sounds like you would consider just making some changes for. Where does that leave you in thinking about making changes to your drinking?
I don't think it would be a problem to cut down to at least 3, 4 drinks.
Okay. So for you, it feels realistic right now to stay at or below that daily limit that's recommended, which is no more than 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So that sounds like a really good first step and feels like something that's realistic for you right now. Great. So one more time using this card, if this 10 right here on this ruler is that you're extremely ready to move forward with reaching that goal that you've set, to keep it at 3 or 4 a day when you do drink, and 0 is you're not at all ready, where would you put yourself on that scale today?
I'm about an 8.
Okay, so you're all the way up here at an 8, and why did you give yourself an 8 and not like a 5 or a 6?
Because I don't really like that drinking can be a problem for me, not only for my job and my classes, but also my health. So it's something I think I can get in front of.
Okay, so what we've talked about today seems to have really challenged you to just stay up on your health and making sure that you're taking care of yourself, and also to perform as best you can at school and work. You see that for right now, you can cut it back to 3 or 4 a day.
Yes.
And so that's something that you're going to try because you're ready at an 8. And so my suggestion is that you could come back in a month and we can just see how that's been working for you. Does that sound like an okay plan to you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Great. So between now and a month from now when we meet again, you'll work on keeping it to 3 or 4. a day on the days that you drink, and we will see each other again in a month, and we'll see how that's been working for you.
All right, sounds
All right.
good.
Thanks for discussing this with me.
Thank
and I
you.
look forward to seeing you next month.
You too.